when people go back and look at history, a business that's got a great product and solution right as a market takes off and being in the right time. I mean, these are the folks over history, whether it's oil or transportation or energy, they've made disproportionate wealth and their companies have done incredibly well. I'm not to say that, they weren't involved in that, but it's typically at a massive macro revolution.
I don't think that they are that prescriptive in their decision making. They do make decisions based on just a lot of gutter insight. But I also will say to that, they also had a lot of money to make a lot of mistakes. And that is the other fundamental difference that a lot of people don't understand. They think they can go on a hunch. You got to have a lot of money to fund the many mistakes that you're going to be making along the way. Jeff Bezos was very clear that we're going to lose billions of dollars before we make a dollar. And he had enough people that were willing to back that vision because they believed in him. So he had the runway to make these mistakes and probably fail 99% of the time. And that 1% was but not a lot of people have that war chest.
So that is an excellent point. I have talked about a venture-backed company can make a lot of mistakes and survive. A company that's self-funded cannot. Sometimes you make better choices with fewer means, right? I mean, it forces you to think about how you're going to do that.
That's a whole nother podcast, Robert. That's a whole nother debate. It's a whole nother debate because I would argue to you, Uber, who's still struggling to turn a profit, would not have proved this point of a sharing economy if they didn't have just as much money as it did. It takes a lot of money to create a new behavior.
You're saying they needed the benefited by not having constraints.
They needed to blitz scale. There's no other way that Uber would have worked bootstrapping the way they did because the concept that they built is quite simple. It was not technology.
Well, I agree with you. And Uber did some bad stuff, but when they're painted as the evil whatever company, remember they're trying to displace this taxi monopoly, which was
but that takes the war chest, and they still couldn't turn a profit for some things. And I think that as a strategist, I try to put things in these boxes and to say with this idea to prove this point, it's going to cost a lot of money just because of what it is, right? Uber's one of them.
Yeah, I think you could make the big blitz scaling argument for a lot of these businesses. I think in others, you could say maybe if they had some constraints, they would have been a little more focused in their decision making, right? There are probably a lot of different narratives.